Hi, I'm Sandy Castell with WIMA, Women in Music and Arts, and we just finished our show today. I was here with Amy Frost and Quinn Rivers on our show Women in Music and Arts on KLAV 1230 AM radio. So girls, what do you think about our show?
It's fabulous. You know, I love how you just roll with the punches, you know, and you're so fluid. It's so easy to, you know, to follow you, and I enjoy it very much.
Well, thank you. I think we had some great topics today. You talked about the entrepreneurial thing for artists, you know, how important it is for artists.
If we can get them to get that, it'll change their lives.
I know. And you said entrepreneurial,
which is an entrepreneur in an organization, and non-entrepreneurial, which is a person who thinks entrepreneurially in the nonprofit world. Right,
right. And then Quinn, you read your beautiful poem about women in music and arts for us.
Yes, thank you. I was very impressed with the show. Everything was done just very professional, and like Amy said, you roll with the punches and you just made everything go so smoothly, because I was so concerned about how nervous I was going to be.
Oh, you weren't nervous.
I was going to stutter or whatever, or forget my lines or whatever. But it was very, that's the first time I ever done anything on radio. So I can say, with meeting women in music and art, I have done some things, some experiences that I have not had before, like the first showcase that I did. So I think it's very successful.
Well, that's what WIMA is all about. It's about getting people out, letting them know that they have a community that is supportive of what it is that they're doing. And obviously, you said you hadn't found that yet. You know, how long have you been here in Las Vegas? Since
I've been here since 1979.
1979, yeah. That's a while. You know, and a few of the other people have said the same thing, that they've been here for a couple of years and they haven't really, you know, they're like doing their own thing, but they haven't really found a community. And I think it's easier to find a community when you're in cities like Newport Beach has one, you know, LA has it, New York has it. For some reason, I think because of the hotels, and I don't know if that's it, but it seems like
it's kind of a transient attitude.
It's a different attitude.
In and out,
you know. And even trying to get the arts, a community for the arts, and we've been trying to do that downtown, which it's continuing to grow, but it seems to be a challenge. And so Women in Music and Arts is about bringing everybody together and letting them get up there and speak, do their stuff.
What's so refreshing is that you're around people that have the same interests that you have. So because, like you said, left brain, right brain, other creative people thinks a little different, you know, sometimes, and sometimes people misunderstand us because we can be very high-strung at times, or all over the place. I know sometimes I am.
Or scattered, you know.
You know, but it's been, like, everyone that I've met in WIMA has been very friendly, very warm, you know, very receptive. And it's kind of like we all know that we have that common bond that we're creative people, regardless of which spectrum you're on. We hearing the beat of the same drummer to a point.
Well, one of the things that we brought up on the show today, which is about education, and which you were so good about explaining your feeling why education is so important. And Amy's been explaining about, you know, the entrepreneurialism, how it's important for artists to team up with other people, maybe not necessarily try to do it all themselves. I think sometimes as artists we feel like we get into this little cocoon because of our artwork. It's a single-minded, we have to kind of lock the door, you know, to
isolate yourself.
And isolate ourselves to either, as a musician, you have hours and hours and hours of practicing your instrument. As a writer, you're writing and you're rewriting and you're rewriting, and you've got to have that freedom to be able to do that. So you kind of lock the people out. But then when you come out of that room and your art is finished, or it's ready to be heard, it's those steps that we need to take to get it out. And sometimes we get bogged down with it and we get lost. And Amy, you addressed that.
I think there's that balance too between being open to review and supportive feedback, and just criticizing and comparing ourselves to others. Because your art's going to be different than everybody else's art. And I think that that's a lot of the reasons why you don't see community, because they come together to critique. And you know what? I don't need any more critiquing. I need to be loved, right, and supported. And that's what I see the big differences. I think the community for really wasn't about we're going to love you whatever your art is.
Yeah.
and support it. And certainly positive feedback is great, how I can make it better, but ripping me to shreds because you don't particularly like that whatever, that's not helping me.
Well, that's true.
When I took some workshops, workshop camps at NSAI back in Nashville, and one of the things that I remember one of the teachers saying, one of the songwriters saying, I think it was Rick Beresford, and he said, we each have our own, it's like if you're fishing in a pond, fishing in a river, that's it, fishing in a river. Okay, I'm up here, you're over there, you're over there. We each have our own little fishing area that we're fishing in. I'm not fishing in your pond area. I'm not fishing in yours. The things that I get are mine, that are coming up. Well, maybe they're not just mine. They're the collective unconscious, but
It's both,
but they're in my area, in my pool, you know, that I'm fishing into, and I'm being open as an artist. As an artist, we are open. We have to be like a channel to let these thoughts come through, let these musical things come through, let the inspiration for your workshops come through. And what we do is, so we're this open channel, and we fish in the pond, and then what we bring out, whether it's a small fish or a big fish, it may just be a little idea, and we fish it out, and then we take that and we develop it, and then we bring it out into the public. And then you're over there and you're over here. Now, I've never understood my entire life about jealousies and stuff like that.
That's what I was getting ready to bring up.
And I think that's what you were alluding to.
I agree.
Yeah,
The competition.
The competition thing. Because I can't compete with what you do.
No.
And I can't compete with what Amy does.
That's right.
And probably someone else can't compete with what I do. But that does not mean that I'm going to be envied or jealous of what you're doing and not try to support you and encourage you.
Right.
And that's what sometimes you don't get a lot of.
And that's what you're talking about with the critiquing.
Yeah.
Enough of the critiquing.
Well, oh my God, the helpful criticism, or like, in your opinion.
So what about competition? What do you think about competition in your line of work, or with what you've been doing? Do you feel that from anybody?
Oh, I feel most people come in that way.
Okay.
For me, like I said, I'm in my lane. I'm going to do my lane. I'm all about collaboration and finding people who are doing really good things and working with them.
Right.
So there's nobody I'm competing with but myself.
Yeah.
Like a golfer or a swimmer. Then you can come together in teams. But ultimately, really, the only competition is with yourself.
Right.
But very few people really get that. That's a large part, I think, the work that we're doing with the foundation is because we're all about collaboration.
Yeah.
And everybody bringing their unique thing to the table. And I love the pond analogy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're not going to dry up your pond.
That's right.
So
see, that's what Women in Music and Arts is all about. And in a nutshell, we're a dynamic group of women in the literary, visual, and performing arts. And we also have men in our organization, so we want you to know that you're all welcome. We encourage everybody to become involved in WIMA and support us and support education for artists who are out there pursuing their passions as we are supporting them, because we're raising money for scholarships. We want to be able to help others help themselves. We're Women in Music and Arts, empowering artists of all ages through education and mentorship, and we hope you'll come and join us at our website, wimainternational.com, and you can learn more about us even through our WIMA radio on YouTube, where we have all of our interviews and our after the show wrap-up chats. So we'll see you next week. Bye.